Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. So that is around the corner. You have the examination on 2nd of January, and you must have prepared for the examination, right? So there was a demand from some of you, although this section does not matter, right? Some people are worried about XAT GK, right? So what is there in XAT GK? What kind of questions are asked, and what is the cutoff and all? So let me tell you that there is nothing as cutoff as such, right? Even if you score like 5 or 6 out of 25, that should be good enough, right? Unless you do dismally very bad, right? Let's say you just get a score of 2 or 3 out of 25. Excel might reject you, but if you get a decent score, like there is no such cutoff, it is not counted in your score as well. So there should not be any worry about this section. But yes, if you are a sincere student, you have been preparing, you have been going through current affairs, if you have some static GK, then it will help you. I mean, you can get some score, right? So maybe they might use the score in your during your interview. Let's say if you score very high in general awareness, right? So they might think that you might be preparing for some other examinations, competitive examinations, let's say like UPSC and all. So they might question you on that. But there, like if you talk about the scoring part, it does not make any difference in your score. Okay, but still you should get some marks so that it does not reflect bad on your scorecard. Okay, so we have this session. We are going to have a questionnaire like we had the other day as well, right? Few days back. Okay, so today also we'll have a questionnaire. We'll be discussing 25 questions, mixed bag of questions, right? The type of questions that you can expect. You should know that what are the things that might be asked in the examination. Okay, so on 2nd of January, the examination gets over at 12:40 p.m. and we shall have the live analysis at 3 p.m. Okay, so we'll discuss about the expected cutoff, difficulty level, the pattern, right? Good attempts, etc. Okay, so please do attend this session on the day of the examination to understand about the examination and I mean, what if you could clear the cutoffs, etc. and all, you'll get to know about it. And we are running this series last lap to start 2022. I hope you are watching these sessions. Okay, so today we just concluded one session on geometry by Saral sir, right? Geometry, numbers, and modern math. We have two more sessions to go, so please do watch them. Right, verbal logic and grammar, and one on essay writing. So this is going to be an important one, right? Essay writing, which has been introduced, reintroduced in XAT. Okay, so Vaibhav, it is not a Menti quiz, it is a normal questionnaire. I'll show you the PPT, the slide, and you answer the question, and then we'll discuss it. And then not a Menti one, so not created that way. So that requires another application, which I mean, I did not use that today. Okay, so let us begin. So here's the first question. When was the first human rights declaration adopted by the United Nations? Okay, when was the first human rights declaration adopted by the United Nations? 10th of December 1948, 24th of October 1948. So basically the dates are two, right? 10th of December or 24th of October, or the year could be 1945 or 1948. Human Rights Day. So they do ask about different days. I've asked for the year as well. So Human Rights Day, okay, most of you are answering A. Let's see that Rising Dragon says 24th of October 1948. Human Rights Day. It was observed recently, right? 10th of December is Human Rights Day. Which is the year? 48 or 45? Okay, so most of you answering A. Yes, that is correct. Right, 10th of December 1948, Human Rights Day. This is the UN Day. Okay, United Nations was formed on 24th of October. Okay, that is observed as UN Day, and the year was 1945. Okay, and human rights was adopted on 10th of December 1948. Right, so every year 10th of December is observed as Human Rights Day. Okay, All right, so let's see the next question. The Chabahar Port is a result of trilateral agreement between which of the following countries? Chabahar Port. India, Iran, Iraq, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, or India, Iran, Afghanistan. Chabahar Port. Where is it located? What is the significance? You know the significance also, you should know about it. Okay, so all of the options have Iran, right? If you see, all the options have Iran, right? It is located in Iran. Okay, this port, Chabahar port, is located in Iran. It is basically between India, Iran, and Afghanistan, right? So you know that India and Afghanistan, like you have India here, right? And then I'm not good at drawing, right? Then you have Pakistan here, then you have Afghanistan, right? So you know that India does not have good ties with Pakistan, right? So in order to conduct trade with Afghanistan, India would go to Iran. I mean, that is a better way to connect India to Afghanistan. Okay, so that is, it is in Iran. Okay, so that's a trilateral agreement between these three. So it facilitates trade between India and Afghanistan. Okay, indirect way, but yes, better than going through Pakistan. Okay. National Voters Day is observed on what day? How many of you vote? There must be some of you who might not have voted thus far, but I expect many of you, most of you must have voted at least once. And probably some of you might be voting in the coming state elections as well. National Voters Day. Okay, different answers. So National Voters Day is observed on 25th of January. Easy to remember also, right? 26th of January, everyone of knows is the Republic Day, just a day before that, right? Okay, so that is observed on 25th of January. Okay, so do read about some important days and all, right? National and international importance. You might get, so this is one variety of question that you can get, right? So Abhay, not on Menti, right? It is just here. I mean, you can just answer and see the questions. Okay. Maybe probably we'll have some quizzes for the upcoming examinations, right? CMAT, TISNET. We have more such examinations which test you on GK. So probably that time we'll have a Mente quiz for sure. Okay, because right, I got a couple of queries about not having a Mente quiz. Okay. So next time I'll make sure that I conduct a Mente quiz because it looks more interactive and all, isn't it? Okay, so a good question, right? What is the name of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics mascot? Hodori, Mirai Tova, Fuwa, or Waldi? How many of you know this answer? Interesting question, right? So not necessary that they might ask you just about Tokyo Olympics medal winners. Especially they will never ask that who is Neeraj Chopra. Okay. So they might ask you about some other, they might ask you about some, like they might ask you some stats, right? Like who is, like what was the distance thrown by him, or weight category of, let's say, Bajrang Punia, Ravi Kumar Dahiya, etc., etc. But very unlikely about the sport in which they featured. Okay, or they could ask questions like this. Okay, so it seems that you must have seen these Olympics, right? So yes, the answer is Mirai Tova. So these are the mascots. Okay, so Mirai Toba was for Olympics. This was for Someti was for Paralympics. Okay, so these were the mascots for the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. Okay, so this is, I don't know what creature to call them, right? All right. Let's see the next question. What is the Belt and Road Initiative? Belt and Road Initiative. Heard of this? So in these examinations, in these MBA examinations, some GK questions would be very random. Okay, so it seems that you know the answer. That's good, right? So Belt and Road Initiative, right? Yes, it is an infrastructure project by Chinese government, right? In like a lot of countries, right? So like it's a kind of earlier it was known as one belt, one road, or kind of thing, one road or something like that it was called earlier. Now it was Belt and Road, it is also, it is the name, right? So China is trying to connect like multiple countries, right? Around more than 50 countries through one road to facilitate its trade, right? So it is basically like a Chinese strategic project to connect multiple countries to China. I mean, a single road connecting China with multiple countries to facilitate its trade. Okay. Okay, so something from current some government schemes, Kiran scheme, and these schemes have some full forms as well. Okay, and if you are preparing for TISNET, ZAT, okay, as I said that you should not take too much headache for ZAT, right? The GK is chill, right? Even if you score like some 6-7 marks out of 25, that's good enough. Focus on the other three sections. Okay, so but if you are preparing for TISNET, such questions become quite important. Okay, they might ask you the full forms of the schemes. Okay, last year also they gave one or two questions at least you will get from government schemes. Kiran scheme, right? Is it for girls of BPL families, rural entrepreneurs, war widows, or women scientists? It has an interesting full form also, by the way, right? So all these schemes, Uday and all those, these schemes have some sort of full forms as well. Does anyone know the full form of Kiran scheme? No. Okay, so some of you have answered A, girls, or so you think that it is for women. Okay, so Kiran scheme stands for knowledge involvement in research and advancement through nurturing, right? So ये जो जितनी scheme बनाते हैं कुछ कुछ इनके like they create such acronyms such that like you can spell the word itself, right? And of course then they relate to some of the things, right? So it is for promoting women in science, and especially those women who had career gap, right? So maybe due to marriage or some other reason, right? So let's say if some yeah, so you're right, knowledge involvement in research advancement through nurturing. Okay, so especially for women, those who had career gap due to marriage or some other personal reasons, right? So for them, that is the scheme. So it provides fellowship support to these women and with this age group, right, etc., etc. Okay, so if you prepare for like examinations like UPSC and all, such things are quite important. Okay, especially these schemes and all. Even in TISNET, they ask a handful of questions from government schemes and projects. All right, so let's see the next question. Dholavira, which is recently received the UNESCO World Heritage Site tag, is in which state? Like Harappa and those findings, right, were found in this place or Harappan culture. Dholavira, UNESCO World Heritage Site. राजस्थान, MP, Gujarat or Himachal Pradesh? Okay, so unanimous answer, yes, Gujarat is the right answer. Okay, located in Gujarat. Okay, has anyone been to this place? There are some people who love visiting such places, right? Okay. Who is the author of the book Pride, Prejudice and Punditry? Devdutt Pattanaik, Shashi Tharoor, Amish Tripathi, Amitav Ghosh. Okay, my sluggish life has been there and Vaibhav also has been there. Good. How is that place? Where's the question? Author of the book Pride, Prejudice and Punditry. Okay, again, most of you answering the same option. Yes, that is correct, right? It is a book by Shashi Tharoor. Okay, recently launched book. Okay, some of you might have read it. Those who are book lovers who love to read and the ones who want to improve their vocabulary might have read this book, isn't it? Okay, सारे ऑप्शन क्वेश्चंस में शशि थरूर होता है हाँ बट कंफ्यूज करने के लिए और मे बी माइट ही माइट बी द ऑथर आल्सो राइट आई थिंक लास्ट ईयर भी एक दो क्वेश्चन आए थे कुछ शशि थरूर किसी तो एग्जाम में आया था उसमें शशि थरूर ही ऑथर था yes 23rd book okay so you keep the count as well great okay next question okay so something from current affairs right Harna Sandhu was crowned Miss Universe 2021 at the 70th edition of the Miss Universe competition held in which country. So they might not ask directly कि Miss Universe का नाम बताओ right they might ask indirectly. Okay, so sometimes like very obvious things they ask something else related to it, right? So yes, the right answer is Israel, right? So I hope everyone must be knowing this fact. Okay, and all of you answered it also correctly. Israel is the right answer. Well, let's see the next question then. Yeah, Elliot, Elat, whatever how you pronounce it, right? I do not know the pronunciation. What is the capital of Peru? So capital currency, this is a question that generally asked. Okay, some random country or something. Uh, Even last year there was some. Last year I remember there was match the following. In that there was match the following of West Indian countries, and that asked that the capitals of Jamaica, Barbados, right, and like four countries that asked capitals of. right? So if someone watches cricket or like like watches knows about West Indian countries and all, must have answered that easily. Okay, Peru, the capital is Lima. Yes, that is correct. So Peru is a South American nation. So capital is Lima. Okay, so you know these other capitals, other countries. Can you match the countries? Right. These are all capitals of countries, right? Yes, Bogota is Colombia. This is Argentina. And this is Chile, isn't it? Santiago. Santiago, I guess, is Chile only, right? Okay. Yeah. So you should know the capitals of some major countries. I mean, they might ask about South American countries, anywhere, right? So capitals and currencies, uh, very random questions might pop up in the examination. Okay, so some people just mug them up, right? Okay, so now this is an interesting question. Let's see how many of you know this, right? Okay, so in which of the following only decade India's population had shown negative growth? Right? India is known for just expansive nature of population, right? But there was one decade in which India's population declined. That is the only decade, okay, since we started having census. Does anyone has anyone heard of this? That India's population once decreased marginally, not very significantly. And if yes, why the reason also? Does anyone know the reason also? Right, 1900 to 11, 1911 to 21, 21 to 31, or 31 to 41. Okay, so people are just guessing it. Some people saying A, B, D. No one says C. Yes, Amit Upadhyay, you are right. Spanish flu. Right. So it decreased in 1911 to 21, right, due to that Spanish flu. So when COVID came, right, people said that 100 years ago there was Spanish flu, right, that killed millions of people, right? Yeah, so in 2000 and 1918 that flu spread, right? So it had effect in India also, right? Yeah, so that all those the things affected this. So it was very marginal, although it was not a large decrease, right? It was 252 million in 1911, right? So from that it became 251.3 million. Okay, very marginal change, but yes, decrease is decrease. Okay, in 10 years, in 1911, it was 252 million and it was 251.3 million. Okay, so that was the only time India had a decrease in population. Okay, and since that, it never looked back, just kept on rising, rising, rising. Okay, all right, so let's see the next question. Yeah, famines were also there, right? Yeah, so there are, I mean, there could be multiple reasons. Other reasons could also be there, right? So that was the only period when the population declined. Okay, so the Karupur Kalamkari paintings and the Kallakurichi wood carvings, which recently received the geographical indication tags, are from which state? Geographical indication tags. What are these GI tags? Geographical indication tags are basically like if there is something which is indigenous to some place, right? Let's say maybe some food product, okay, or it could be some like in this case it is a painting, right, or wood carvings. If something is indigenous to some place which is quite famous elsewhere, right, it is found in only one place, that is called geographical indication. Like for example, uh, just to give you an example, like that Bikaneri namkeen, right? You must have heard कि बीकानेर की नमकीन बहुत famous होती है, right? So that is a geographical indication tag, right? Because it is like quite famous elsewhere. It originated from Bikaner. Okay, so there are several food items and things that or art items that belong to some particular place, originated from that, and are quite famous elsewhere as well, right? Everyone talks about that. Okay, so these were recently inducted into geographical indication tags. You can read about them, right? So they belong to Tamil Nadu. Okay, so some question from current affairs, right? So that is this. All right. So yeah. So yes, Darjeeling tea is also a geographical indication tag. All right. So let's see the next question. What is the California condor? A museum in England, a bird in North America, a cryptocurrency, an animal in Australia. Now, see, like in that, there is no negative marking, right? So attempt all the questions, okay? But when it comes to other examinations, right? Sometimes, like some people will use the reasoning key, California, US में है, तो not B आंसर होगा. Some people think that it is a trap, ठीक है? Some people think कि अरे यार ये ऐसा क्यों पूछेगा, right? It might be something else. They must have deliberately given this option, right? So in examinations where there is negative marking in GK, right? So never mark that way. Okay, but in that mark all the answers. Here the logic is also correct. And California is US. Yes, it's a bird in North America. It's a kind of a vulture, right? It is the largest flying bird in your North America, right? California condor, largest flying bird in North America. Okay, all right. So let's see the next one. Where is Orca, the world's largest direct air carbon capture and storage plant, located? So it was inaugurated recently. Okay, few months back. So question from current affairs. Orca. So it's the largest uh, direct air carbon capture plant. Not heard of it? Okay, some saying A, some saying B, some saying D. No one says C in any of the questions. And mostly I'm seeing that in such questions where people are unaware of the answers, people are answering A, B, or D. Okay, I hardly see option C as the answer. But there are questions where options, the answer, correct answer will be option C. Okay, the right answer is Iceland. Okay, it is located in Iceland. So it was opened recently, I think in September or October. Okay, so current affairs they might ask from the past 3 4 months. Well, let's see the next question. The Chitwan National Park is located in which country? Chitwan National Park. India is not in the options. Okay, so obviously it's not in India. Bhutan, Cambodia, Nepal, or Thailand? Chitwan National Park. Okay, so this time all of you are answering C. Last 6 months is more than enough. And as I said that don't worry too much about that, right? If your starting is fine, right, you will be able to do it. But anyway, there is no negative marking, right? Even if you are very unlucky, right, you might get less than 5. Otherwise, you will get like 5 at least, like one or two question everybody knows, right? Even if you have not touched GK. Okay, some random marking if you are uh, like 1/5 probability of getting right, you should be able to get 6-7 marks. Okay, the right answer is Nepal. Okay, so if you're enjoying this session, please do like the session. Okay, what is the distance of a marathon? Any marathon runner here? I thought some out of the box question. It 42.2 kilometer. That is in kilometer. I asked in miles. Okay, half marathon. Okay, so if you know in kilometers, you can convert also dividing by 1.6. Okay, 40 divided by 1.6 कितना होगा? I mean, if you suppose you do not know the answer, right? You know in kilometers, right? 40 by 1.6 is 25. ठीक है? 2 by 1.6 is what? 1.25, 26.25 के आसपास आ रहे हैं, right? Any, I mean, it's exact 1.6 नहीं होता, 1.6 से थोड़ा ज़्यादा होता है, 1.61, right? So you get that around 26.2. Okay, so even if you do not know, if you know in kilometer and if you know it is approximately 1.6, you can calculate also. Okay, the right answer is 26.2 miles. Okay, so current affairs, sports. So first was starting from sport, current affairs. Who won the US Open 2021 men's singles title? चारों ऑप्शन ऐसे नाम है, they have like, I mean, it is difficult to pronounce their names, isn't it? So Jane, there is no such strategy. I mean, tukka is tukka, right? You mark randomly any option. Okay, so if that works, if you're lucky, you might get those. Okay, yes. Daniil Medvedev, right answer, right? He defeated Djokovic, right? So that is the right answer. So read about US Open, right? Recently US Open ही हुआ था, so you might get US Open. And French Open थोड़ा पुराना हो जाता है, right? So read about men's singles, women's singles, etc. etc. Okay, हाँ A और C का मैच था, right? Djokovic और Medvedev का मैच था and Medvedev beat Djokovic, right? So Djokovic, right, this year, before Olympics, it was like people were thinking that he will have that golden slam. And there is something called golden slam. Okay, so golden slam is 4 Grand Slam plus Olympic in the same year, right? So till now, only Steffi Graf has achieved that, right, in 1988. She is the only player to achieve this golden. This is called Golden Slam, right? So before Olympics, people were expecting that this year Djokovic might have Golden Slam. Okay, so all others, Djokovic had won तीन Grand Slam जीत गया था. In the Olympics he lost, right? So I mean, yes, this Zverev won in Olympics. Okay, so I mean, this is how it was. Okay. All right. So next question. So something from history. When Mahatma Gandhi was arrested, who among the following took over the leadership of Salt Satyagraha? Yes, Raducanu, the English player, right? Uh, that's a teenager, right? She won it, and she was not even. I mean, she had very low seat. She was the. I think she was some. She was some replacement also. She was not the correct. Uh, the initial player also, and she won it. Yeah, so she was in news. Okay, so this question, Mahatma Gandhi was arrested during the Salt Satyagraha. Then who took over the leadership? Abbas Tayyabji, Vinoba Bhave, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad or Sardar Vallabh Bhai Patel? And this is that difficult question है जो केबीसी में आता है मतलब 25 लाख 50 लाख वाले क्वेश्चंस जो होते हैं मतलब बाद में जो आते हैं ये तीसरे पड़ाव में isn't it? Okay, so not much into history. Okay, some of you are answering A, B, so all except C. I don't know why people do not answer option C. When the answer is not C, I generally see that people are answering A, B, and D. Okay, so it was Abbas Tayyabji, right? He was also called the Grand Old Man of Gujarat. Okay, so he took over the leadership. He was an associate of Mahatma Gandhi, right? So when Gandhiji was arrested, he took over the leadership of Salt Satyagraha. Okay, all right. Next question: which city topped the list of QS Best Student Cities ranking 2002? Sorry 2022 मतलब वो 22 की लिस्ट अभी से रिलीज हो जाती है सो दैट वे म्यूनिक सियोल टोक्यो लंदन so something from current affairs you read about rankings and all right so Indian the best city from India is Mumbai with 106 right then you have Bengaluru so no Indian city in the top 100 okay which is the first and the first is London. Okay, so London was the topper. If they ask about Indian city, you can tell that. So these rankings, right? Some city-based rankings, pollution-wise ranking, right? ऐसे कुछ ranking में पूछते रहते हैं. Okay, so just be aware of those things. ऐसी चीजें पढ़ लेनी चाहिए कहाँ पे कौन सी ranking release हुई, hunger index, ये index, वो index, happiness index, right? So different kind of things. और उससे question आ जाते हैं generally. Not only in MBA exams but in other exams also. Okay, yes, Munich third. Yes, so London first, Munich second, then Seoul was third. I think Tokyo was also in top five, fourth or fifth. Okay, all right. So let's see the next question. So some random question which might be difficult, right? John Pemberton is known for the invention of. Okay. Now these are questions that you know or you do not know. Okay, you do not read these things also, right? Very random, like ऐसे कहीं पे quiz में देख लिया and all. Okay, so who is this person? Some Russian person watching this and commenting. I don't know what is wound.rent. John Pemberton. Anyone knows? What did he invent? Anesthesia, Coca-Cola, digital camera, or postage stamp? Okay, so good number of people know. I mean, I thought people might not be knowing. Yes, the right answer is Coca-Cola. Right, so he was a pharmacist and he developed that formula, right? That special formula which is secretive. Okay. Okay, so let's see in the next one. Which of these countries became the first country in the world to grant patent to an artificial intelligence system? Okay, so Russian guy is a spammer. Why will a spammers comment on these sessions? Okay, so this is from current affairs, right? Which of these countries became the first country in the world to grant patent to an artificial intelligence system? South Africa, Japan, El Salvador, or Spain? Okay, now people are saying, see, El Salvador, याद रखना cryptocurrency, right? First country to legalize cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Okay, so like in the previous quiz, I had asked that which was the first country to legalize Bitcoin, right? So that is El Salvador. ठीक है, ऐसे current affairs में कुछ ऐसे unique countries. Okay, so most of you saying Japan. एल सेल्वाडोर इसलिए करोगे क्योंकि वो क्रिप्टो के वो कहीं पढ़ा होगा बिटकॉइन लीगलाइज करने वाला राइट ओके जापान यूजेस लॉट ऑफ एआई ओके so yes so that does not mean if a country uses a lot of AI right that would be the first country so surprisingly the answer is South Africa okay I read about it today just इनकी कुछ current affairs पढ़ते हैं so just read about it so Japan uses a lot of AI, that is fine, but South Africa is the first country to grant patent to artificial intelligence system. Okay. El Salvador, yes, that thing legalize bitcoins. Okay, now an easy question. Which of the following is not a version of MS Windows? I guess all of you are that tech savvy. Even if you are not tech savvy, you know these things, isn't it? ये तो सभी को पता होगा राइट विंडोज तो सभी यूज करते हैं राइट लोगों ने 8 चलाई होगी 10 चलाई होगी 9 देखी नहीं होगी राइट आई मीन that was a very easy one everyone will get such a question correct okay so current affairs India's first cryptocurrency unicorn coin switch Kuber coin DCX Unocoin Wazir X you know what is unicorn I remember last to last year, I think it was asked in one of the examinations, what is a unicorn? What is a unicorn? You know what is a unicorn? No, no, unicorn. Okay, startup is fine. That why do you call a company a unicorn? So unicorn is like if it's a $1 billion, right? If it becomes a $1 billion company, that is called a that is yes value if its valuation is more than $1 billion yeah that is called a unicorn okay so in of course a startup when it reaches that stage that becomes a unicorn okay so the right answer is coin DCX right so एक बार पूछा था question one of the examinations I remember it 2020 CMAT टिस्नेट किसी तो एग्जाम में पूछा था व्हाट इज अ यूनिकॉर्न दे हैड आई मीन given options like this, right? 1 billion market cap and all. Okay, all right, so see the next question. Yeah, so Ayushman Kunal last time I had asked for the brand ambassador, right? So that this is point DCX. Okay, Cinco de Mayo is a national festival to celebrate the victory of which country over French forces? Cinco de Mayo. You do get some random questions like these also, right? So very random, which you might not be studying on a daily basis. Okay. Okay. So these are questions that people will just randomly guess. Right? People generally guess those questions. Okay. Amit Upadhyay says that B or C. Okay. Ritika has heard of this Mexican festival. Okay. Seems you read a lot about Mexico and interested. I mean their culture or what? So Cinco de Mayo is like it literally translates to it's a Spanish word. It means 5th of May. Okay, Cinco de Mayo. It is observed on 5th May. Right in 1862, they defeated French forces. So that's a Mexican festival. You're right. Okay. So 5th of May. Okay, Cinco means 5th in Spanish and Mayo is May. Okay, so on 5th May 1862, they defeated French. So they like every year they celebrate it as a festival in Mexico. Which airport was recently renamed as Maharaja Agrasen International Airport? Shimla, Dhanbad, Hisar or Gorakhpur? Okay, Vritika Joseph might be tacos lover. Oh, yeah, if you're a tacos lover, but how would you know about festivals and all, right? Do you read about festivals also? I mean, it's see, there are some random things which people read. Okay, and these random things, sometimes random things are tested also. Like the paper consists of right some like common things, some very random things. Okay, Nancy is saying that धनबाद में airport ही नहीं है. Okay, people are answering D. अच्छा, I will tell the logic why people are answering D. ठीक है? Why people are answering D? The logic ये लगा रहे होंगे कि there is a chief minister, right? He renames many things. ठीक है? He renames a lot of cities. Maybe he named some airport also. Right? That's the logic. Right, that's the logic people apply, right? When you see एक यूपी की सिटी दिख रही है, यहाँ बहुत नाम चेंज होता है, isn't it? The right answer is Hisar. Okay, Hisar in Haryana. So that airport was named as Maharaja Agrasen Airport. Okay. All right. So that was a questionnaire, right? We discussed some questions, right? As I said that do not take too much headache about GK. ठीक है, GK हो जाएगा, कुछ तो कर ही आओगे. ठीक है, like right, maybe some questions you might know, right? तीन चार question, दो तीन question कुछ तो आता ही होगा, बाकी random mark करके आना, right? You will get some marks, so do not take too much worry about GK की GK का क्या करना है, right? There were a lot of queries, students asking कि GK करा दो, GK करा दो, not much relevant in that, right? The other three sections are important, right? Try to score if you talk about the other three sections, quant, TM और verbal ability. ठीक है, वर्बल एबिलिटी में ट्राई टू गेट सम 7 8, डिसीजन मेकिंग में 8 9, क्वांट में 10 प्लस. ठीक है, क्वांट में डे बिफोर यस्टरडे वी हैड अ सेशन ऑन डीआई आल्सो. ठीक है, सो This like if you do target DI, right? DI consists of 9 out of 28 questions. And as I said, at least one or two sets will be easy. So DI target, try to target 6 questions in DI, right? Or 2 sets. ठीक है और बाकी 4-5 क्वेश्चन तो क्वांट में वैसे ही बन जाएंगे. Baki DM try to attempt as many questions as possible, right? I mean, we had a session also. I discussed that what are some of the strategies. We will have one more session on 31st, right? We will discuss some more questions from the past and approach to solve those questions, right? So, although many times the questions are disputable, but by observing that which are the options that they mark, that they give as the official answer, you can predict that these are the things that they look for in decision making. Okay, so I wish you all the best for the examination. Okay, and as I said that we will be discussing this in the exam analysis on 2nd of January at 3 p.m. So do watch that session. And these are the mentors at BYJU'S Exam Prep who prepare you for all these MBA entrance examinations. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's questionnaire, right? Interesting questions. Okay, so thanks for attending this class, right? Have a great night ahead and all the best for XAT. Okay, so good night. Have a great day.